I'll take care of the kitchen.
Thanks. Sam, I can't go back in there. I keep picturing it happening and... This is just some old stuff I've had laying around. You probably kept it for some reason. So, did you find anything you were wanting to take? You know, before the rest of the family comes and starts stealing stuff.
They can have it. Nothing here but a bunch of worthless old photos, scrap, and pieces of junk.
Any clue to what that was supposed to be?
Not really.
He was probably working on that yesterday. Sam, he had so many projects he was working on, and now they're never gonna be done.
And I am sure all of them would have been useless pieces of shit we'd have to throw in a yard sale as well.
You know what, Sam? Fuck you. The least you could do is put whatever beef you had aside until he was 6 goddamn feet in the ground. Just make sure to replace the tablecloth before anyone else comes in.
Hey, how'd everything go today?
It was okay.
Did they get the test results back yet?
It was a brain aneurysm. He'd been dead for about 3 hours when the neighbor had found him.
Are you okay?
Yeah. How was everything with you today?
I deposited the check at the bank. I paid the sanitation bill, had lunch with my mom before going into work, and then I missed out on getting those McPixies tickets because my internet connection at work decided to be a dick. Yeah?
Yeah. Affirmative. I'm fine.
Don't start being a jackass about this, Sam.
I am not the jackass in this scenario. You know the history there.
I am not talking about you and your dad. I'm talking about you and Beth.
What'd she say?
Well, not much, other than the shitty things you said about him. Look, I understand you bashing him in front of me, but not in front of her. Well, say something.
So that's how this goes, Annie? Not only do I have to worry about getting the goddamn guilt trip from her after everything that happened today, but then she goes and cries to you and I have to listen to it all over again?
Everything that happened today? God, you can't just start pulling this bullshit, Sam. When I asked you earlier how you were doing, you said yeah. You don't get to just flip the now I give a shit switch whenever you want.
And you do not get to change your mind and play sides any which way the wind blows either. I asked you to be there for me.
And I have been there for you. That's why I'm here now.
But that's the point. I don't need you right now.
What?
I don't need you right now at this moment. I just need to get through the next few days until after the funeral. But I do need you. Annie? Annie! 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 Hey, sorry about last night. I said a lot of things that I had no right to say, and as always, it came out the wrong way, which just made things worse. I've just been so stressed between thinking about the estate and with this project I have going on at work. Anyway, I was thinking that if you want, maybe tonight you, me, and Beth could go out to eat. I just have to finish up a few things at work. It shouldn't take long since I'm the only person there dumb enough to be there on a Saturday. Did you hear what I said?
Is there a towel out there?
Who the fuck is in there?
I can either step out looking like God intended, or you can hand me a towel to get a little more presentable. Didn't I teach you to keep the door closed to keep the heat in when you were a kid? And if you're going to use that, you might want to sharpen the edges a bit more. You should really get that water pressure checked. That is the weakest shower I've ever had in my life. Yeah. Wait. You know, you really should order some food. I was gonna make you an omelet, but I figured that would be in bad taste.
What the hell are you?
Luke, I am your father. Empire Strike.
Yeah, I know what it's from. I want to know what you are.
I'm Dad.
No. Dad died yesterday morning at 8:07 a.m., sprawled out on the floor of his kitchen. He was discovered at 11 by his neighbor James Gomez, who immediately dialed 911. I want to know what you are.
Gomez found me? God, I was in my underwear. That's embarrassing. There was a flash. Then no sound. Nothing I could see. Then I started seeing images. Still images of everything. It was kind of like that red binocular toy that I bought for you on your 3rd birthday, but instead of some scene from one of your comics or movies, it was my life. Some stayed longer. Some went faster. They all eventually stopped, and the next thing I knew, I had a hot blast of water hitting me in the face. So now I'm here again, just waiting. Can we just talk?
Anyway, let's talk about this big blow-up between you and your girlfriend, Ann. Annie? She seems like a nice girl. At least, I mean, well, the photos of you two in your apartment make her seem like that. Sam, I don't know how much time...
I remember when you were a kid, we started teaching you how to use the bathroom, and you became obsessed with flushing the toilet after everything. 2 drips in the toilet, flush. Drop a tissue in there, flush. Fart instead of poop, flush. So I get the bright idea to teach you to pee in the bathtub when the water was draining after bath time. Thought I was a genius and going to save on our water bill. What I didn't count on was your mom coming home from work one afternoon, finding you standing in the bathtub, dropping your drawers and pissing all over the place. Oh. I really didn't feel too genius after that earful.
Okay. So, you're here. You want to talk? All right. I'll bite. Let's talk. About anything you want. Let's have a chat, Dad. What's so goddamn important that you had to come back to say, as a wraith or a ghost or a zombie or whatever you are?
I'm sorry.
Why? Why did you leave?
It was my time.
I'm not talking about when you fucking died. I'm talking about the first time. And the second time. Do you know what that did to us?
Your mother and I were idiots when we were young. Don't get me wrong, we loved each other, but we had no idea where we were headed, or if eventually we would even head there together. We thrived in the unknown, I guess, because we always had an escape hatch. We could always just leave. So it was blissful. And then you came along. And the unknown got a lot more confined and known, so to speak. Another mouth to feed. Another soul to take into account for everything. Another person to possibly ruin.
So you blew the hatch.
Yeah. I blew the hatch. Figured around 3 would be a good time to leave. Your mom would never forgive me, you'd be sad. But at least at 3, you would have a lifetime of memories to fill the void with. Maybe with someone who was more committed to being there. Someone committed to do the things that I felt that I couldn't be as a father. So I cut my losses and left.
I'll just let you know, a 3-year-old can remember a whole hell of a lot.
The funny thing is, I didn't leave and go partying. I didn't spend the next 5 years drinking and screwing my life away. I just searched for the thing that would give me peace and balance. And I realized that it was the very same thing that I had abandoned so long ago. Five years can change a person. 5 years can be a lifetime.
I still can't fucking believe that she let you back in.
That's probably...
She never told me why.
That's probably because the second time I left destroyed her faith. Your mother was the most forgiving person I've ever known. Jesus himself could take a lesson from her.
Should you really be making jokes like that right now?
Probably not. With what I saw in those images, that's probably not going to be the deal breaker.
You're right. Abandoning your family twice probably carries a bit more weight.
So, your mother saw something in me, allowed me back into your lives. We get back together, Beth comes along, and everything seems okay. For 5 years.
Five years could change a person, right?
And I thought it did. But 10 years after I left you and your mom that first time, that same idiot crept into my mind again. And when I got fired from my job, I drove home and I kept on driving. I took my failures, my fears and stresses with me in that car, and I kept driving. The only bright spot was a photo I had of the three of you that I kept on the dash. Eventually, even the sun took that from me. It was just a faded piece of paper of a faded memory.
Was that the photo of the pizza party?
It was the party. Showbiz pizza? Oh, goddamn. You guys could spend so much money on those games back then. Yeah.
I had that photo too. I think I got rid of it around the time Mom died.
I never got to tell her that I was sorry. I never got to tell her that I was so grateful for her for being there for you two when I couldn't be. I guess talking to Beth and getting to know her again was how I could tell your mom those things, even though she wasn't around anymore. But it was too late for you. 17 and abandoned by your father. Twice. Yeah. Any notion I had of us being Opie and Andy, pretty much fucked right then.
I wanted nothing to do with you. Every time I looked in a mirror, though, I saw you. I saw you, your face staring back at me. I saw what I came from. And it terrified me. I saw you leaving. I saw you driving away. I saw you making promises that I knew you wouldn't keep. Those were the images in my Viewmaster. Oh, and I knew how easily I could become you. And I hated the face that I saw in the goddamn mirror.
Those moments. The leaving. Looks of sorrow, regret, and pain. Those were the images that lingered on the most. Every time I thought of you and your sister. I'm not here to ask for your forgiveness. Even though I know you are your mother's son. I'm just here to finish the job.
Job? The job of being a dad?
None of this is your fault, Sam. I didn't leave because of you. I left because of me. And you're not me, Sam. You never will be. You're a better person than I ever can be. Because you lived through this. You know what it's like. You won't repeat my path. I must have seen 80,000 images Too many to remember. Too many to count. Too many that I didn't want to remember. But the one that I was allowed to linger on the most, the one that I was allowed to live what felt like a lifetime, like I was staring at one of the goddamn masters on display in an art museum. Holding you in my arms one night in the hospital after you had been born. And it was just you and me. And realizing that moment in time, the potential you had to be the person that I couldn't be in life.
Okay. What do we do now?
side.